Hello, family, and I'm back with another edition of how Black Americans Can Survive in a Trump America. So, what I introduced to you in the previous video was the beginning of 12 keys. This is a 12 keys to survival in a Black America, or excuse me, in a Trump America. So, just a quick recap. The last keys that I shared, knowing the pure and divine ego, this distinction between being yourself and responsibility of that true self, remembering what I've forgotten within myself, and I have no life lessons. These are all building that foundation. These are all creating a stronger you so that you can stand in your own strength when you are interacting with the world. See, the ultimate understanding or gift of these keys, I should say, is that it teaches you how you can change your relationship with the world. It teaches you how you can navigate the different kinds of oppressive systems that are out there that can get in your way, how to navigate around them, and to do so effortlessly because you are coming from that inner strength and that inner core of who you are. And that's been taught out of us. It's been robbed out of us. It's been traumatized out of us as a people, as a culture. So the good news, however, is we can heal that and we can get that back. So, the past, what happened in the past, it was not good. It was traumatic. However, I'm mentioning it this way so we can let go of that, so we can change to have a more empowered future. Now, it does, just because we let go of that does not mean that that negates the responsibility of those that has caused that harm. It does not mean that at all. People that have created harm and destruction, they are still responsible for correcting that, making that right. However, this is about what you can do, because in the moment you cannot make somebody else do anything else. What you can do is you can change how you interact with the world, how you choose to view things. That you can change. And so what I'm doing is sharing with you the keys of being able to do that, and not only support yourself, but support those around you. And as enough people do that, then you can begin to work as a mass consciousness and then affect things on a global level. But it starts with you. So this is that first step in starting with you. So the next key, I'm going to do something a little bit different. I was going to do 3 keys at a time and just have 4 videos to go over the 12 keys. However, I really want to go a little bit deeper into the keys so you get a better understanding. And I'm not going to give you the full understanding, because if you want that, then you can get the 12 keys booklet. It's only $14.99 for a download, very affordable. But I want to give you enough of an understanding so you can see how you can begin to work this into your life. So you can begin to repattern your consciousness, repattern your inner thoughts, and repattern how you view things. So you can release the things that aren't supporting you having what you want, and keep the things that are supporting it. Okay, so I went over the first 3 keys. This 4th key, all right, is what is honestly good for me is honestly good for you. So this key is about giving you permission to say no when your heart and soul knows that you need to say no, when it's not good for your heart and soul. And I'm going to cover how you use this key to empower yourself, and then also the trap of using this key to disempower yourself. And there's a very specific pattern or mentality or key or thing, excuse me, to watch out for when you are using this key in a disempowered way. And I'll share that with you. So, again, what's honestly good for me is honestly good for you. If you're being asked to do something and you really know that it's not, you just really don't want to do it because it's not in your heart or your soul to do it, it's not your joy to do it, it conflicts with, you know, your beliefs, or it conflicts with some with who you are, all right? And you may feel obligated to do it because this person's a friend, or this person did you a favor in the past, and you know, or it's a family member and you're feeling obligated because you have to do it. Well, this gives you permission to say no, because if it's not good for you, it's not going to be good for them. An example is if you're doing this and you know you're not going to have your heart into it, and you're not going to be on the same page as them. Okay, so what's going on their end is they are working with somebody that isn't on the same page with them. They're not going to, you know, they're working with somebody that it's not going to be up to the standards or quality that they think it will be up to, or um, it's, you know, or maybe even the timing, or you know, what have you. So they're not getting, you know, what they think they're getting when you say yes. So it's not good for them either. And so by saying no, you can free them up to finding somebody who truly is on that same page, or truly is doing it from their heart, and they're in the joy of doing it. Um, Another thing that I want to point out with this key is that sometimes we do this because we think we're going to get something out of somebody else. So this is you know, pointing out some of the control and manipulation type of behaviors that we can fall into. And if, you know, we're doing this because we think we're doing, you know, something for somebody because we think they're going to give us something, or we're going to get something, and that's not communicated clearly, then what will happen is, you know, you're setting up these expectations that may or may not be may or may not be met, and more than likely, if it's not communicated, they're not going to be met. So what will happen is, you know, you'll be disappointed. You'll project onto them that, you know, they pulled one over on you, or you know, they did something kind of shady or what have you, and you're projecting onto them. They're going to pick that up. They're going to feel it, and so they have this unknown expectation of them that wasn't communicated to them, and they're on the receiving end of that, and they're now dealing with that, and they're just like, well, I don't know what's going on here. Suddenly, you know, our relationship is it's strained, and I don't know what happened. So that's another aspect of this key, and staying in the strength of this key. Another thing, so that is coming from a limited and a fear-based mindset, that I have to do this so I can get that from this person. It's not coming from a place where, you know, I can get this, I want this specific thing, however, it does not have to come from that particular person. I will open myself up so it can come from wherever it comes from. So when you focus on having somebody else be the deliverer of that particular thing you're looking for, okay, and they're not delivering it, one, you've closed yourself off to other avenues of where it can come in because you're focused on having it come from this particular person. And two, you know, that particular person might not be able to give it to you, even if they did know, you know, what it is that you're looking for. And there's also one other component. You might not even be consciously aware that that's what you're doing. All right, might not be consciously aware. So one way to help you be aware is to sit back when somebody asks you to do something. Sit back and ask yourself, what is the reason I feel like I have to do it? And this is like if you don't really want to do it. Okay, if you really want to do it, it doesn't matter if the other person gives you something, you know, gives you what you're not expecting anything from the other person. If this is really coming from your heart and soul, it's still coming from your heart and soul, and it's not based on anything on what the other person does. But if you sit back and ask yourself, Am I expecting anything from this other person? Am I expecting praise? Am I expecting money? Am I expecting a favor? Is there something I'm expecting from this person that I am not communicating to them? So, and sit back and you can feel it. You can feel it in your body. You can feel it in your gut, because it'll be like there'll almost be like a feeling of panic, like if you don't do it. So when you feel that, you know that there's something that you're expecting from this other person. If there's like this panic or loss feeling. And, this takes me to the next example of how, um, you can use this key to be aware of whether you're using it, in an empowering way or a disempowering way. Because you may say, you may make an agreement with somebody, and in the middle of the agreement, maybe something happens, and so it's not, you don't feel like, honoring your agreement with them. And so you just say, well, I can't do that anymore. I'm walking off because, oh, hey, it's honestly good for me to not complete this because it's causing me more hardship. Well, again, that is coming from a fear-based lack mentality, because what you're saying to your subconscious is that I don't have enough. I can't, I'm not, allowing assistance or help in my situation to support me so I can keep my obligation. All right. Um, I'm not open up for options. Okay. I haven't, one thing that you can do is you can let the other person know of your situation and say, hey, this has come up. You know, what can I do so that it still works for me and still works for you? Maybe they are willing to negotiate. Maybe that is the avenue of relief that you're looking for. Maybe it is from them. But, maybe if it's not, and maybe they may say, you know what, I wish I could do something, but I can't either. I would love to, and I just really need for you to keep your obligation. Then just know, okay, that, it will come from somewhere else if you hold on to this key, because if it's honestly good for, for you to keep that obligation, if it's honestly good for them that obligation be kept, it's also going to be honestly good for you as well. So that is, this is a really important key, because this helps you, one, keep your boundaries. And it also helps you to be honest with yourself about your own motivations, too. So it's really a really powerful key in being able to work that into your life. Now, if you want to know more, about this, about the understanding of, this key, and how it can be, used in your life, then you can look into the 12 keys. That's, on the website that's listed there. But this gives you an idea that will allow you to begin thinking a little bit differently about things, and giving you permission to say no when there is, say no when it's truly not in your best interest, because now you know that it's not going to be truly in the best interest of the other person as well. So that's it. The 12th key, or key number 4. What's honestly good for me is honestly good for you. I'm going to go into the next key on the next video, and that key is reflection of self from others. So what does that mean? Stay tuned for the next video.